Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another great episode of the REDX podcast. We are glad you could be here with us today. I'm Robert Sullivan, your host, here with, can I call you my friend Hoss? I feel like you're my friend. We've hung out here in Orem before. My friend Hoss Pratt. We're going to learn some great knowledge from him today about selling. Hoss, just say hi to the audience for us.
Hello, everyone. It's glad to be here. Glad y'all are here. Hopefully today I leave y'all better than I found you. And Robert, we are pals, buddy.
All right. I like it. Yeah. We had fun when you were out here. He came out and visited the office and we had a good time. So we are friends. Hey, before we get into selling and objections and making and helping you be a better real estate agent, just a couple housekeeping items. We want to make sure that you know where to find our next podcast. You can go to the redx.com/podcast. Or you can continue the conversation and see upcoming podcasts on our Facebook page, The Lead Gen Conversation. But for today, a reminder, this is a participatory event. So if you have questions and comments, throw them in the chat. I'll be watching them. Haley will be watching them back here. And if we can get to them in the show, we'll get to them there and keep the conversation going. But today, the subject at hand, Hoss, you are going to help all of us, everyone tuning in, to be better sellers. So let's just get started. Let's just jump in about before we even start selling. Like what you start, you told me a few things. How do we get started and really become better sellers? Because that's what we do as real estate agents. We have a lot to sell, not just homes. What do we need to do to be better?
Couple things. And we do have a lot to cover today. I want to give just as much value as I can to everybody, because I keep having this conversation. You know, for 13 years, I've coached and trained agents, and I see what stops realtors from prospecting, what stops agents from picking up the phone. And I just want to have a simple conversation today, because I think it's people overcomplicate it, Robert. This is not that hard. You know, so here's what happens. People come to the phone with all these insecurities and these emotions and these misdirections. They don't know what to say. They don't know when to say it or how to say it. And it's because they don't have a map of what you're actually doing in a conversation. And I want to help this today. So if y'all, the listeners, grab a pen and paper, take notes. I'm going to give you as much as I can. So here's all we're doing. And whenever we are prospecting, the first thing is our job as real estate agents. Your job is to set appointments. Why do you prospect? To set appointments. Why do you follow up? To set appointments. Why do you cold call? To set appointments? And I don't use the word cold calling because I look at calling for sale by owners and expireds like warm, hot, smoking hot, sizzling. You know what I mean? Third degree burn type stuff. You know, like these people want to sell. You know, it's not cold calling. So stop calling it cold calling. That gives you a negative emotional response to it, the activity. But we're not doing any of those things. Really, what you're doing is you're setting appointments. And so set the intention of what you want those calls to lead to, which is what? Setting appointments.
More appointments, yeah.
Not listing homes, not selling homes, not closing homes. Setting appointments so we can get in front of a seller. Get in front of the seller, then we convert that appointment. Then once that appointment's converted, now we sell it and close it. So let's not get it twisted what we do. We are glorified appointment setters. So every call and every conversation, you're not talking to these people to follow up. You're not talking to them to get your 200 calls in. You're talking to them to set the appointment. If the appointment should be set and if it can be set.
I love it because it's, even though it seems like a simple shift in language or mindset, it can change your entire approach and even make you less afraid of the phone. Because agents, we talk to them all the time and helping them get their leads into prospecting. But that fear of picking up the phone is real. But if you're not cold calling, if you're not just trying to cruise through dials, but you intentionally are trying to set appointments, that's a job that you know you can get done.
That's right.
And you need to do.
200 calls or 10 calls. It doesn't matter how many appointments were set.
Yeah, I like it.
And so what happens, it's a blind spot people have. They just go through the motions of things. And so the first thing is let's not go through the emotion of the actions that lead to what we're supposed to do, which is set the appointment. Two is, as you mentioned, scared, intimidated to pick up a phone. I ask myself, why would people be scared or intimidated to pick up the phone? Couple things. Number one is they don't know what to say. And I'll get to that in a minute. But the first thing I want to address is is the inferiority complex that people have. Think about it. I'm scared to pick up the phone. What are you scared of? Are you scared of the other human being on the other line? Do you feel like they're superior than you? Do you feel like they're better than you, smarter than you? And this is what happens to people. Here's what I tell people. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I'm no different than any other human being created on planet Earth. God created every one of us in his image. Like, that's how I look at it. You're no different than me. I'm no better than you. But on the flip side, I know that you're no better than me. I know that the prospect on the other line is no better than me because I'm no better than them. And I think what people do, Robert, is they like subconsciously, they put themselves in a place, in a space of authority with people. And so some people do that. And so you got to go take that head on, like uncover that, unpack it, get that thing figured out, because that is what stops a lot of people from picking up the phone. They're just simply scared to put themselves out there.
And getting on equal footing is really both ways, right? Because you can't approach the phone call thinking you're better than the seller either, right? So it's both kind of pumping you up on that, like, hey, I'm going to make a phone call with another human being, and we're on equal footing today. We're going to meet each other, and we're going to have this conversation. I'm not better than them. They're not better than me. I like the mindset.
Let's level the playing field there.
Yeah.
So now that cures the anxiety a little bit. You know, we're all human beings. I mean, we're all humans, and humans do things. They have emotions, and they have, you know, they're all different, but they're not that different. And that's the thing about selling is, you know, people care about themselves, their time, and their money. All human beings care about themselves, their time, and their money. They don't care about you. So once we understand this, what we got to do is we got to know what to say to them. We got to know that they don't care about us. They care about themselves, their time, and their money. So what can I do to save them time and money? And this comes from the language. The reason a lot of people are scared to pick up the phone because they don't know what to say. Here's why they don't know what to say. Because they don't know this answer to this question. It's the ultimate question that anybody will ask you in your real estate career. Why should your prospects do business with you instead of your competitor? Bro, I've asked this question in every seminar. I was just at a seminar. I spoke with Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins asked this question in front of 5,000 people. And I'm like, they should know the answer. I already gave it to them, you know, when I spoke earlier. But he gets up there and he didn't know. And in front of everybody, Tony's like, that's your problem. And I'm like, exactly. So if we don't know why people should do business with us, we will always be scared to pick up a phone. We will always be scared to go on the appointment. We will never have confidence in our message, confidence in our delivery, confidence in our ability, because we don't know why people should even use us. We don't know our value. So this is where we would put our marketing hat on. This is and I'll help you with this. Here's the answer. You create programs that solve people's problems, programs that save them time and money. And you know this story, Robert, like when I started real estate, you know, I didn't go to college. I barely made it through high school. I was just a country boy, man. And I moved to Texas from Missouri. Like if you listen to me in my early days on the phone, man, I sound like I'm 14 years old. I sound different, you know? But I went from no business to taking a listing a day my first year because of what I'm saying right now. My first 6 months, I didn't know why they should use me. My second 6 months, I created solutions that gave me a message that I could deliver. I created my 89-point marketing plan. Why? Because I got tired of people asking me what I do to market a home. What are you going to do for this commission? What are you going to do to market the property? Well, and then I didn't know the answer. So I learned that if they're not looking for everything you're going to do to market the property, they're looking for a solution. Once they see a solution in you, they won't ask you the question again. So when I say, Mr. Seller, my 89-point marketing plan works like magic and selling homes just like yours, fast for the most amount of money. My 89-point marketing plan is the reason we outsell the average agent 10-1. You see, the solution is the 89-point marketing plan to the pain of looking for an aggressive agent. But in the absence of an aggressive marketing plan, I don't know what you would say. I don't know how you get on the phone or in front of them and not sound like a salesperson. because in the absence of those solutions, you always sound like a salesperson. So I remember, calling expireds. I'm like, I need a program that I can help convert more expired. So I remember I was driving by the car dealership one day out here in Texas, and I see certified pre-owned cars. Bling, light bulb goes off. Why do we not have certified pre-owned homes? So I created a certified pre-owned home program that sells homes for 4.8% more money in 28 days faster than the MLS average. Why did I do that? So when I'm talking to a seller and they say, well, why'd my home not sell? I say, because it wasn't certified. Buyers in today's competitive market are looking for homes that are certified, and our certified program is exclusive to the market here. It's a big reason we outsell the average agent 10-1. You see what I mean, Robert? When you have a program, it gives you the words to say, the solutions to deliver, the value to establish, and it helps you overcome objections.
And I like it because exactly you said, when you have the program, you have answers right away. So you don't like, sometimes they might want to know, tell me all 89 points of that of your marketing plan, right? And you'll walk through them and you'll have it, but you're actually able to answer the question so much faster just because you're already prepared with my 89-point marketing plan. And already they're like, this guy knows what he's talking about. He has a plan, and they don't even know all the details yet, but they're like, he called me prepared to have this conversation.
Yeah, it makes you the expert, and it positions you as the authority.
Yeah.
And especially in a shifting market, the market's screaming, we want the best. We want to work with somebody aggressive.
Yeah, so, right now people are asking that question, right? Because they're like, hey, a couple months ago, my neighbor sold their house in 2 days. And now I'm not getting it. Now it's been on the market for 3 weeks.
I know.
And what am I supposed to do? And so they want to talk to someone that has a plan, right?
Yeah, and this is where the agent becomes a marketer. I tell people, you want to stack skills. You want to have people skills. It's hard to sell real estate without people skills. Then you develop sales skills. That's getting people to take action. Then you develop marketing skills. And the marketing skills help equip you with the messaging and the words and the branding and the way you communicate. And then presentation skills. Go from being able to present one-to-one, which is on the phone, one to a few, which is the listing appointment, and one to many, which is video, could be what we're doing now, right? One to many communication. And I believe that that's the framework of where every agent needs to be. And every agent is in that place. All roads, you got to go through the marketing road to get to the top. And the top agents, the 95 or the 5% of the agents that are doing 95% of the transactions, they're the marketers who happen to be salespeople who happen to be in real estate. And
I've got a question, and it comes from those first 6 months that I think a lot of will help our listeners today, because everything you're saying makes total sense. But some people might be sitting there and say, I've got a lot of work to do before I ever pick up the phone one time. But so I want to maybe talk about the first 6 months of failure is where you learned a lot of lessons before you figured out, oh, now I know how I'm going to talk on the phone. Or would you say, no, stop everything, figure those things out before you pick up the phone? Or is it in the action that you're learning these things?
Yeah, buddy, it's in the trenches. So you don't know what you don't know. You can't prepare for something that you've never prepared for or been experienced. So ditch the getting ready to get ready. Go straight to the phone, even though you don't know what to say, even though you don't have marketing programs. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to learn the skills in the trenches. You're not going to learn them in reading a script, or you just got to get your hands dirty. The faster you get your hands dirty and get in it and get down in the nitty gritty, the faster you're going to get better at it. Then you work on those things. I tell people you work on those things on the getting ready when the sun is not out. Early in the mornings and in the evenings, like you do the money producing activities during the day, every day from 9 to noon, at least, is where you need to be having more conversations. And this is the thing, Robert, it's about having conversations. Here's a question. How many conversations have you had with potential sellers in the last 7 days? And I'm going to ask all of our viewers, all the people that would view this, how many meaningful conversations have you had with potential sellers in the last 7 days? And right there, I could predict your business based on that answer.
So how many do they have to start setting appointments?
Well, you hear 5.
Yeah.
I had 10. It's not enough. We got to be over 50. We got to be over 50 because that shows it's happening every day.
Yeah.
And it has to happen every day because then it becomes autotivity, where it just becomes automatic activity where you just do it. Like you go from feeling uncomfortable to doing it to uncomfortable not doing it. I've never missed a day of my life of picking up that phone. Never. Why? Because I was scared of all the calls I'd have the next day if I didn't make the ones today. It was like a German shepherd nipping at my heels every day, right? I'm like, no, don't nip me. Don't get me. I couldn't stop. I had to keep going. And this is why you need leads on campaigns. So you need to take the REDX leads, data, contacts, and you need to put them in your CRM on a campaign. This is paramount to the success of anybody trying to dominate a niche. Is you won't do it if you're not forced to do it. So what you want to do is you want to create a system that forces you to work, that forces you to show up every day. And that's the reason people are inconsistent, because they don't have leads on campaigns. When you so I look at it like this. Think about the REDX leads is the fuel, your CRM is the vehicle, and you are the driver of this vehicle. We need all three. We need to be feeding the beast. I'm going to nickname the vehicle the beast. We're going to feed the beast and we're going to drive the beast. And we're going to become the beast. And these three things this will provide you more certainty for your business, more certainty in growth, in commissions. Like those three things are the most important three things to anybody listening's real estate business. The REDX leads in a CRM on a campaign, and you doing what the campaign tells you to do. It's that simple.
And do you have any, I mean, there are people tuning in. A lot of them are already REDX customers. Some of them are just thinking about it. Do you say, hey, if you're just starting out, definitely do expireds, or you should do geo leads, or is everything you're saying is like, hey, you pick what you like, but you got to do it every day, and you've got to have these answers in mind. Is there a specific way you tell people to go about it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think my first answer is whatever it takes, but my logical answer is I like FSBOs for that person. Here's why. FSBOs answer their phone. So they're going to have a lot more conversations. And the more conversations they have, the better they're going to get at it, the faster they're going to get at it. So I like FSBOs for new agents because they can cut their teeth. Let's face it, FSBOs are nicer than expireds. Yeah. Like they're nicer. It's the easiest niche to convert. I mean, I listed 28 FSBOs my first month going after them. 28, almost. Maybe it was February. Maybe it was every day that month, but it was like 28. And like, I was a nobody, and that's what's great is when you do what I'm talking about and you come with solutions to the conversation. And as I bring this home, this is an important thing. My job is I'm a professional question asker. So on the phone, all I'm doing is asking questions. And I want everybody to get your pen, and I want you to draw an X on the left-hand side of your piece of paper. And I want you to write above that X where they are. So this is where they are. So the moment they say hello, boom, that's the X. Here we are. This is where they are. Draw a line under that all the way over to the right. Draw another X. And then put where they want to be. This is where they want to be. This is what success looks like to them, what they're trying to accomplish. Best case scenario. Maybe they don't even know all where they want to be, but they're getting ready to, because I'm going to be asking them where they want to be. So every conversation, if you were to hear me or the best prospectors, here's what you'll see. You'll see them asking questions to find out where they are. Where are you? When did the home sell? Why did the home not sell? What could have been done differently? Why are you selling it for sale by owner? When do you need to be out of there by? Then to where they want to be. What are you trying to accomplish? When do you get the home sold by? When are you moving? Why are you moving? When do you need to be there by? How much money are you trying to avoid bringing to the closing table? How much and you're getting to this best case scenario. So every conversation has two parts: where they are, where they want to be. What we are is the doctors. So I'm putting my stethoscope on. I got my scrubbies on with my what are those shoes called that those people wear? Crocs. I got my Crocs. I'm a doctor. Call me Dr. Hoss. I'm like scalpel. Give me the scalpel. Questions. Here's what I'm doing. I'm the authority because the doctor is always the authority. I'm in charge because the doctor is always in charge. They're the patient. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to start asking them questions. And they're going to answer me. And at the end of that conversation, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out my prescription pad of solutions, and I'm going to prescribe the solution to the pain that I find. Because here's what happens. When you're on the phone and you're prospecting, setting the appointment, and you're asking questions to find out where they are and where they want to be, here's the bridge. Between the two is you. You're the bridge to help them get from where they are to where they want to be. But you're really not the bridge because they don't care about you. You're providing the bridge. So it's really the value through you that you communicate. They see you and the value you bring and deliver as the solution to get them from where they are to where they want to be. And what that helps them do is avoid the pain they're trying to avoid. So if you could just go 30,000 feet above a conversation with me and a seller, that's what I'm doing. I'm asking them questions based to find out where they are. I'm asking them questions to where they want to be. I'm listening for the pain, knowing that I have a solution to the pain. Right? It's simple things like the last agent didn't communicate. He never called me. He took the listing, never called me, never heard from him. I said, man, I am sorry about that. That's the reason we have a communication guarantee, Mr. Seller. We call our sellers every Tuesday, talk about the showings, the feedback. I don't care if I have nothing to say to you. You're going to hear my voice every single Tuesday. Like I'm going to create a solution to every problem I face.
And you find those out through those questions.
Yes.
And people love talking about themselves. And so when you ask questions, they're going to tell you all about it.
They love it. And that's the thing. I was asked this question the other day. This would be a good test for REDX, for all of our listeners. The question was how long should people be on the phone to set a qualified appointment? I was like, that's good. And here's my first thought. 10 to 15 minutes. And then I thought 10 minutes on the low end, but 12 minutes is the sweet spot. 15 is a little long. 20 minutes is way too long. They talked way too much about themselves.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, you know, I went to Auburn and I was a cheerleader and then I got married and then I did this. Like you hear that stuff in a 20-minute conversation. So a 10 to 12-minute sweet spot is it would be a good test, wouldn't it?
I like it.
For an appointment.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are racing to the end of that conversation to ask about for a listing appointment, right? And if you give yourself the freedom, like, no, I've got a lot of questions to ask to understand where they're going, and I'm going to allow myself a little bit of time to get there, then you're not going to rush to that ask for the listing appointment. You're going to actually build credibility and solutions before you get there. I like it. Yeah,
and the listing appointment is a natural progression of the conversation.
Yeah, that's right.
And so here's how you keep a conversation going from 10. Why is the 10-minute mark important? Because I build rapport. And I built rapport and found common ground. That's a qualified appointment. You know, I'm not going to set a qualified appointment in 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Not me, not my style, not maybe somebody else. But for me, it takes 10 to 12, but it's going to be rock solid appointment. But here's how you keep somebody on the phone from 10 to 12 minutes. You got to ask questions. So if you were listening to me on the phone, here's what I would do. I would ask at least 13 questions to every statement that I made.
That's good.
So I want you to think 13 questions. So when you think 13 to 1. You're like, man, that's a lot of questions. It is. But here's how you do it. You ask a question, then they're going to give you an answer. The next question I'm going to ask is based on the answer they gave me. They're going to give me another answer, and I'm going to ask another question based on that answer. And usually I can find a pain point in that third answer. So what you do is you go deeper into the conversation, and going deeper into the conversation. Remember, they're here. They want to be here. This is us asking questions. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the conversation deep, 3 levels deep. I'm going to find the pain, reinforce the solution, and then redirect the conversation. So it looked like this. Why the home not sell? Well, the last agent didn't do anything to sell the house. Well, what could the last agent have done differently to market the property? Well, I don't know. He didn't even do open houses. I mean, he didn't even Not even a single open house. Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Seller. Why are open houses important to you? Because I want an agent that's going to market the home, that's going to work. What is that? That's lack of marketing, not open houses.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's the solution to that? Well, I got the solution to that. He's looking for an 89-point marketing plan.
He didn't even know it.
He didn't even know it. So then once I say that, I'm going to say, by the way, when do you need to get this home sold by? And I'm going back over here. Once I tell him about my solution, I redirect it and move on. I don't circle the drain, beat the horse of, well, what's in the 89 thing? Well, what is that? I don't answer. I don't go into it. I redirect the conversation. And that's how you want to do it. You don't want to just go over and over and over it. You want to take the conversation to another place.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep moving in the direction, again, of things that they want to talk about. And then as you find those pain points, offer solutions. Well, Hoss, this has been amazing. We're quickly running out of time. So I want to give you a minute to any last advice you have, and also and tell us that, and then we're going to make sure we know where people can find you as well.
Yeah, listen, y'all, this is the greatest time in the history to be in this business. And the market we're going into is set up for you. All of you prospectors, all of you appointment setters, this market, is going to be much easier for you than the market you came out of. So if you want to get ahead of the pack, then start now. Recommit to yourself, recommit to REDX, recommit to the actions, recommit to prospecting, recommit to getting in front of more sellers, and just know that this market's going to be set up for you. We're going to have more and more inventory coming on the market. That inventory needs to be yours, and it's found on the other side of that phone. So all roads lead to the phone. Pick it up, fall in love with it, and dial for dollars and smile and dial. And I want to throw a gift into all y'all because I love you. Go to my website at hosspratt.com. I have it's a business plan for you. It's a really good business plan that will multiple pages that will take you from where you want to be and help reverse engineer how to get there, down to how many dials you got to make, how many appointments you need to set. It's very helpful. It's completely free, no strings attached, at hosspratt.com.
hosspratt.com. You need to go there. If you've been here all half hour, if you're listening, tuning in right now, Hoss has just shared amazing information with us. Go to his website, get his business plan, and he's always helpful. And if you need something, I know you reach out to Hoss and he's going to help you out. Go find out more about him at hosspratt.com. Hey, everybody, thank you for joining us today. Hoss, thank you for your time. Your time is valuable, and we sure appreciate you hopping on and sharing this with our audience today.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And everybody else, you have a great rest of your week. If you want to know what's coming up next, make sure you subscribe at theredx.com/podcast. Or if you want to continue the conversation, join us at the Lead Gen Conversation on Facebook, where we can keep this conversation going. We hope to see you next time, same place. Have a great week.
Take care.